third break. Hey, I'm Harry Mays, and the Philadelphia Eagles and Vic Fangio's defense just got bum rushed by two rookies named Jackson Dart and Cam Scatabo. Oh, and a couple of wide receivers. I have no idea who they are.
Houston, I'm Jason Myrtetus, by the way. Houston, we've got a serious problem.
Fly, Eagles, fly. It's the Eagles Squad. Everything Philadelphia Eagles every week. Covering all the big hits and game-changing plays from the city of brotherly love. The way only the Locked On Podcast Network can. Get ready and squad up. It's the Eagles Squad show starting now.
Yeah, Eagles Squad show starting now. I'll tell you, I am, to use a term that Harry Mays once made famous, I am pissed off. What an awful, awful night.
Yeah. Well, yeah. An awful night, all-encompassing in Philadelphia professional sports.
Seriously.
But, man, we're focusing on this Eagles situation here. And this the energy level that I saw out of this Eagles team was like a preseason game.
Not even.
It was just awful. Like I don't know, man. You go 1 for 9 on third down, and you allow your opponent to go 11 for 16 is staggering.
It really
staggering.
Is. Harry, I'm going to be honest with everybody right now. This is the God's honest truth. I have no idea how we're going to go an hour because I don't have any friggin' answers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had a big day today. You had the Flyers opener. I did the show with Johnny Marks. Watching that Phillies game, that was exhausting, by the way. The fact that had to go extra innings because that umpire couldn't have called a strike in the 7th inning on like the 7-hole hitter, which would have changed the whole game. But that beside the point. This Eagles team looked like a team that was totally unprepared.
Crossover Thursdays presented by Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code LOCKEDONNFL, and you'll get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Also, Prize Picks, today's episode brought to you by Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. I mean, I am apoplectic.
I love that word.
I haven't done sports radio in 6 years, I was reminded today. You, 7.
Yeah, 7.
Right?
Yeah.
And I feel like I haven't missed a show because of what took place today. They haven't lost back-to-back games since 2023.
Yeah.
Now, that's a feat. That's unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
But to lose the way they did tonight, and like the first thing I have written up there, like you see on today's show or tonight's show, for goodness sake, processing a loss. I'm not processing. I'm not a food processor. I mean, are you processing this?
No, I mean, the first quarter where the Jackson Dart had that toss up. He just threw the ball up in the air, and it's caught by this guy named Lil Jordan Humphrey, who I have no idea who he is.
He sounds like a country singer.
He played at Texas. Yeah, he sounds like a country rapper or something. Lil Jordan Humphrey, out of Nashville. But he played at Texas. But he catches this pass on Ringo, by the way.
Yeah.
And that led to the Dart touchdown where he's just sort of playing scramble football, like out in a sand lot. And he's just like he runs it in from 20 yards. And that gets the first score. It gets the crowd all in a tizzy. And then like Makuba misses a big tackle that led to that was the touchdown by Robinson, that 35-yarder. He should have made the play. And you're like, dude, what has happened? Like, who showed up tonight?
Yeah.
Not us. The Giants showed up.
I am completely completely. I'm trying to process the Giants. They suck. Like, they're not bad,
but they played hard.
They play. Jackson Dart played hard.
Played hard.
He's a fun quarterback.
Yeah,
right?
He is. I think he's got a chance.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think despite the fact that he is in New York and playing at MetLife Stadium, he's got a chance. They rolled out a stat today, and the two worst teams in the NFL over the last whatever amount of years, I forget the number, are the New York Giants and the New York Jets.
Yeah.
It has been.
It's bad.
MetLife Stadium is a house of horrors.
Absolutely.
For the home team, right?
Yeah.
And the Eagles went in there tonight, mind you, coming off their first loss of the season and got their asses handed to them.
Yeah.
They didn't just lose the game. At the end of that game, Harry, they gave up.
Yeah, it looked like that. Now let's be honest here, though, because I was not expecting the Jalen Carter unplayable with the heel injury, whatever
he's
this
one player. Come on,
I know, but he's a big part of what they do.
Understood.
And then they lose Quinyon Mitchell early in that game with that hamstring, and that was a killer to me because that upsets the whole cornerback rotation system, and that brings Adoree Jackson back into the field, and Keely Ringo gets exposed. It changes the whole dynamic, even though you're up against wide receivers that are really like C-level wide receivers.
They should have won by double digits with a practice squad.
Well, yeah, you would think.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And look, you're like, that is the most logical thing we've said so far, other than this is the Locked On Eagles squad show.
Yeah.
Is that, look, there is a pecking order. There is a fallout when you're missing a guy. This whole thing, there's this notion in sports, Harry. It's called next man up. I think it's the biggest bunch of BS in the world.
Well, that's the big football thing, next man up.
Yeah, next man up.
Yeah.
Baloney.
It should be a hockey thing, too.
Well, we've got the backup goalie theory that works for a half a period, right?
Yeah.
That's because Mikey Miss came up with that, so that's ridiculous, right? And then you got the Wally Pip, but other than that, you don't have crap to lean on because the next man up ain't the man,
right?
And it's not sustainable. So when you lose Quinyon Mitchell, now somebody's got to step into the Quinyon Mitchell role that is not Quinyon Mitchell,
right?
Same thing for Jalen
Cooper
Carter.
DeJean.
Yeah.
He's going to get put on the best guy.
But then the fallout is that there's no Cooper DeJean.
Right. And it's it's a tumble down effect. I get
crap
that.
Rolls down the hill.
But I'll tell you what, though, man, there was an energy about that Giants team tonight that was not apparent on the Eagles sideline. Like, there was a team that really wanted to win that game and came into that game excited to play football. And I looked at the Eagles, and they just looked like I said, it was like a preseason game. Like, oh, our starters, we got to play tonight, really? It had that effect to me. I don't know. I was watching a lot of baseball tonight, but I felt when I'm really dialed in, I had the double screen there for a while because the Eagles or the Phillies went to extra innings, obviously.
To 11.
But when I'm really focused on the Eagles, I'm like, they just look like they just want to get through this game. Yeah. Like it's a short.
It looked like they had the baseball game on in the dugout.
Yeah,
is what it looked like
right on the sideline. Yeah, exactly right. Like they were in a dugout.
Yeah.
It was
and it looks like they smoked the dugout.
Like Jackson Dart in the first couple of drives, was running around like Fran Tarkenton, and making plays. And Fran Tarkenton used to play for the Giants originally. He was a Giant. Then he became a Viking.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm envisioning like 1960s Fran Tarkenton, and he's making plays. He's tossing up balls to guys I don't even know, and all of a sudden you're like, holy crap! Like we're losing a game, and now our offense has to really like create some stuff. This is not really what they're good at. and they find a way to grind out 17 points in the first half, and you're thinking, okay, yeah, all right. They didn't score the rest of the game.
Yeah, again, and the second half.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
This offense. I mean,
unbelievable.
It is a real issue. And let's bring in Louie DiBiase right now. I just watched his show too, because I just don't, Louie, I don't even know what to say, because like the first thing I said was, Houston, we have a major problem, and Harry and I are trying to process this loss, and some losses I can process. Like the Flyers lost to the Florida Panthers. I can process that.
Oh, yeah. That's
two-time Stanley Cup champion,
that's
the whole
nothing.
thing. Right?
Yeah.
Even the Phillies, they lose on a pass. The pick base is loaded. He throws it to the backstop.
Well, they didn't lose it there. They lost it way before that. But
they did. Yeah. That was the final play.
Yeah.
But watching this game in the second half, I have a brain that is only capable of so much. And I cannot process what I've been seeing in these second halves. Can you possibly go Stephen Hawking and crack this code for me, and how to process what the heck is going on in the second half?
The Philadelphia Eagles do not learn from their own history. They have not learned from what happened in 2018. They did not learn from what happened in 2023. They have a very loyal head coach, and I think that's a big plus from Nick Sirianni. And it was a big plus from Doug Peterson.
Been here 5 years, though. But you're going back to 2018. That's 7 years.
Because I'm including Doug Peterson in this, because the Eagles have a specific taste in what they want in a head coach. And a loyal head coach is very important to this football team. It's allowed them to win 2 Super Bowls and make it to 3 in under a decade. But the problem with that is, when they are selecting a coordinator after a Super Bowl run, they continuously promote from within. And what's happening in the second half of games is Kevin Patullo is extremely predictable when a defense adjusts in the first half, after the first half, and figures out what he's doing. After the fastball stops working, he doesn't have a changeup. Lane Johnson said it today in the locker room, and he's the guy that has seen this.
Say that.
Yeah, he did.
He said that this team is too predictable. Last year they ran a lot of RPOs.
He didn't say the changeup, though.
No. He said that the offense is too predictable, and that last year
Yeah.
RPOs helped them be less predictable.
Yeah.
They have given the keys to a historically talented offense to a brand new play caller 2 of the last 3 years, and it has not worked.
Passed over several times.
Yeah, and look, Jalen Hurts has been terrible in the second half of games this year.
Yeah.
Outside of the Rams game, he's been awful in the second half of pretty much every football game this year.
The first half of the Rams game, he was horrific.
Exactly. So it's on Jalen too. It's on Nick Sirianni. This team was not ready to play today from the jump. It's why they were down 13-0. But you got to call a spade a spade. This team continues to make the same mistake. They do this congratulatory promotion instead of picking the right guy for the job every single time they win a Super Bowl, or they at least get to one. And it's a maddening process to watch. And that's what you saw tonight. Like, Patullo had no answers after the second half adjustments.
Okay, I get that, and I'm with you. I totally agree with you. But the core thing that this team did last year was run the football. Mm-hmm. They cannot run the football this year.
He had some big runs early, though.
He had a big run. He had 18. He's at 18 yards is his largest run for this season. That was tonight. Yeah. Give me a break with that.
Well,
I mean, they're going minus.
That
second half possession, 6-yard run, -2, incomplete, punt, 14-yard pass to Goddard, a 3-yard run, sack, punt, no gain, -2-yard run, 10-yard pass, punt. They stink running the football. They're supposed to salt games away by running the football, and they cannot execute first downs.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, that's true, but it is frustrating to see an offense that has the weapons it does in the passing game when one part of the offense doesn't work. They don't have that changeup. I mean, they should be able to put games away throwing the football too. Jalen Hurts missed the throw to Devontae Smith that would have put them up by 4 points.
Right.
He's the one that threw the interception in the red zone when they were down 10.
That could have put them. Throw.
Yeah, so like you're totally right. Their run game,
yards.
Right, the run game is their superpower, and without it, they're not going to win a championship again this year. But it's inexcusable how inconsistent the passing game is. Like, I know this is just who Jalen is as a passer. Throughout his career, he's going to have ups and downs, but it should not in year 6 with all these long-term players they've had, even with a new play caller, be this bad in the second half of games. So I'm with you on the run game, but they have 2 areas of stars on offense through the air and on the ground, and they disappear completely in both ways in the second half, which is crazy because they used to be the best second half football team in the league.
They used to salt teams away in the second half last year.
Oh, Harry's dead on with that. I'm not countering for sure. Like the run game, if they don't get that back on track, they will not compete for a Super Bowl this year.
No,
because we know the passing game. No, and we know they're not firing Patullo during the year. So the passing game is what it is. It's going to be vanilla all year long. So they need to get the run game going.
How do you? I mean, if this continues, how do you not fire Patullo?
I think Howie and Lurie is going to make him do it. But I think they learned from 2023 when they fired Sean Desai mid-season how that backfired with Matt Patricia, that I don't think they would do that again.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
Howie and Lurie are going to get involved again this offseason if Sirianni's like, I'm not firing Patullo. It could be a Doug Press-Taylor thing all over again, which I'm a little nervous about. It's only 6 games, but we're getting there.
We talked about that last week. You brought that up last week.
And the same things keep happening, so I'm losing faith.
There's a major problem when the MVP of this team, and it's not even close, is Dallas Goedert.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's
the most injury-prone player on the team, so you know that's a ticking time bomb.
He's by far the best weapon right now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 5 touchdowns already this year. Yeah.
And he missed a game. Mm-hmm. And he's got 5 touchdowns. I mean, I just do not know what to make of it. I don't know what the fix is. They don't have a bye week for a couple more weeks. They got the Giants again in 2 weeks.
At home.
I almost think that's a good thing. Pretty close in proximity revenge, I think, is a good thing at home. But
Vikings, they get the Vikings off the Vikings bye week, though.
Yeah, see, now the Vikings are well rested. In Minnesota, so I think that's a tough spot. And to go from 4-0 through the hardest part of your schedule to all of a sudden being 4-3, and facing the Giants who just beat the brakes off of you, is a really tenuous spot to be in. I don't know how this Eagles team is going to respond. I don't, because I couldn't have less faith in Kevin Patullo than I have in Joey Merlino calling the plays right now.
Hey, Joey Merlino apparently makes a hell of a steak.
At least Brian Johnson's offense put up points. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, even Brian Johnson's offense wasn't this inept. It's just totally useless through a half a game every single week.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is, like, around the goal line, like, again, the Goddard touchdown was a creative play.
His initial game script is really good, which it's funny. The Eagles used to be terrible in the first half of games on offense. Like, they never scored points in the first quarter.
Right.
But they were the best second half team in the league. And this year it's the complete opposite. Yep. And I think though it does show Patullo's brand new to play calling, because again, when there's adjustments, like he doesn't have a very diverse playbook, clearly. So I think when Jason, like you asked what the fix is, it's what Harry said. They have to be able to run the football because this team is not good when they play from behind. And when it's third and long, when they play from behind the sticks, they're not a good football team. And the way to fix that is by getting the lead and choke holding teams with the run game. Like they have to, because the passing game is never going to be, it's outside of 2022. Like this is what we've gotten. Even last year, this is what it was. Like we just have to kind of accept it at some point.
I tell you, I'm an old guy. Everybody knows that. Tonight, I already brought up Fran Tarkenton with Jackson Dart early in the game.
Mark Starr next, Harry.
He's the real deal.
Who was an original Giant, okay?
Yeah.
Scattaboo looked like John Riggins tonight. He wears number 44, and that guy, I tell you, we would love him in this town. If he was an Eagle, he would be a fan favorite.
He'd be a Bednarik type favorite.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
What do you have, 3 touchdowns?
And he was an animal about it.
Yeah.
He reminds me a little bit of Tyler Warren at Penn State.
Oh.
The way he played.
Yeah, well.
Like Tyler Warren did a little bit of everything.
He's beasting in Indianapolis right now.
He is.
Yeah.
He reminds me of Tyler Warren a little bit. But, I mean, the processing of this, I just don't – I'm glad this isn't the bye week to have to process it over a bye week. and hear all the different theories and everything. But they are going against a Minnesota team in Minnesota off its bye.
Yeah.
Like,
and Wentz looked really good. If he has to, I don't know if McCarthy's
revenge
ready.
If they lose to Wentz and this thing spirals in that way, oh my gosh. That is absolute disaster scenario. Yeah. If Wentz comes in and just blows the doors off this team,
all right, let's not do the midweek show yet.
Oh, my
That
goodness.
is the midweek show.
I already thought about it in the fourth quarter. I'm like, oh, my God, they might play Carson Wentz next week.
Because Wentz looked actually good in that London game down the stretch.
I think he's looked good for the majority of the last 3 starts he's had. But.
His demise made no sense to me. He had every tool in the bag other than injury, right?
He has Justin Jefferson now, so maybe that's the difference.
Maybe that is the difference. But how will the Eagles respond? Let's bring it back to center some way, somehow here and remove our emotion for a second and realize that, the Eagles did go 4-0 through the toughest part of their schedule. Yeah, they did cough one up last week. They got blitzkrieg today. They just got absolutely destroyed in this game by a divisional opponent. And they always say throw away the record when you play the Giants, right?
Yeah, but they lost that game in the trenches too. They did. Giants dominated them.
Oh, destroyed them.
They did.
Them. Yeah. So let's regroup for a second and think how they will respond. Just a second, okay? So pull yourself back together. I'm working on it myself. I'm having a hard time pulling I'm a person that prides myself on not becoming too overly emotional. I followed the Flyers for too long.
Right.
That I had that's called self-preservation.
Yeah.
Right? So let's take a quick time out. Let's do that. And then how they move forward, how they will respond. We're back after this. All right. Let me tell you about, this game still, it's so hard to just turn it off and turn it on, but I'm going to do it. All right. The NFL season is in full swing. FanDuel is kicking butt. And it's great. It's easy to use. And they've got a can't-miss offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers, if you're a new customer, you waited this long to be a new customer. First of all, what have you been waiting for? It's time. You get $300 in bonus bets if you win on just a $5 bet. That's right. You pick a bet, you put a measly Finsky on it, a $5 bill. And if it hits, you unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. It's so simple. You love FanDuel. It's simple to use. Interesting storylines. It keeps you more involved in games maybe you don't really care that whole heck of a lot about. I love how FanDuel gives me so many ways to play, whether it's the parlays, it's the straight bets, it's the player props, same game parlays. You can combine games. You can combine sport. You can do whatever you want. Live in-game betting is fantastic. It makes watching football, sports even more exciting when you got a little skin in the game and something riding on the action. So you can be a casual fan and love it. You can be a hardcore fan and love it. Dive into the stats. You feel like you know more than somebody else? Use that to your advantage. FanDuel makes the game day experience so much better. So here's the deal. What are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com. Download the FanDuel app today and get started. Get that great deal. $5 bet, win it, $300 across the entire thing to use in FanDuel. So download the app today at FanDuel.com. All right, since I forgot to put up the little banner, we'll put the banner for a second.
Nice. I had over 5.5 strikeouts for Sanchez tonight. He's got 5. He's sitting on 5. And this scrub Call, it was Call, right? He's like the 7-hole hitter. There was a pitch that was an absolute strike for strike 3. The ump called it a ball. Totally changed the game.
Flip you out.
Flip me. I lost. He walks. Eventually, Sanchez gets pulled. The Phillies give up the tying run that inning. Yep. That would have been the second out of the inning. Devastation.
Yeah.
This stuff matters, man.
It really does.
It really does.
Jason, by the way, told us not to be emotional heading into this segment, but then I just watched A.J. Brown pretty much outright blame Jalen Hurts for this performance, saying that Kevin Patullo is doing an amazing job trying to get the ball to his skill position players.
Really?
And then denying there was any sort of meeting with Jalen and Saquon this week. So that's perfect. Yeah.
Oh, my.
Yep.
Well,
He didn't say anything.
No
He
more
didn't mention
breaks. I
Jalen.
cannot have you watching anything else until this is over.
AJ did have 9 targets tonight, 6 catches, 80 yards.
He said it's all about player execution. So,
He's not wrong about that.
Yeah.
I mean, Jalen Hurts was terrible in the second half, so he would be correct. But
Yeah.
that's
He-
not
he
a good
was-
sign.
He was
sounds
part
done with.
of that.
Yeah,
Does he? Louis, does he sound done here?
he sounds done. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
they're
sounds
not
like it's
going to
over.
trade him.
No.
They are not going to do it. But I think the frustration with Jalen, it's starting to boil over a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, that only lasts for so long with personalities like that.
Yep.
And it's gotten to a point now where it's irreparable. That's a really good word that I just used. If we were playing Scrabble, I would have
Yeah,
got
I have no idea what word.
It means it's not repairable.
Oh, irreparable. Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's an irreparable
I
relationship
got
right
that.
now, and it's not going to change.
Yeah.
All right. So the question that we asked before the timeout: how will the Eagles respond to this? They are a championship pedigree team. They have gone through some really tough things: the loss of Kelsey, the loss of Lane Johnson at times. Brandon Graham has retired. Fletcher Cox has retired. They've gone through some things. They went through the collapse a couple years ago. You would think they would learn from these things.
Yeah.
How will they respond to what was a very embarrassing loss on a national stage on Thursday Night Football?
Well, I don't know how.
First of all, Al Michaels seemed like he enjoyed the Giant win way too much. He had money on the Giants with good odds. But anyway.
Look, Al's getting paid a lot of money. He's an old man. He should enjoy every day. Okay.
Yeah.
He lives in Hollywood. He plays at Bel Air Country Club. Every day is a great day for Al Michaels.
The only guy living a better life than him is Jim Nantz.
He flies private everywhere he goes. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but how will they respond next week in Minnesota to a team with some really good wideouts with Quinyon Mitchell with a hamstring? I don't know that that's going to repair itself in a week.
I apologize for all my Keely Ringo hype over the last few months because that backfired tonight.
Yeah,
Big
well,
time.
we were going to get to that.
He looked unplay. I mean, him and Adoree Jackson looked
When you
unplayable.
weren't here
Yeah,
to
they
get
do.
to that.
They do.
So I'll put my hands up. That's on me. I mean, this was.
All right,
they
so-
need to trade for a corner badly.
Okay. So, but is that going to happen? That's not going to happen this week.
Maybe
Well, you
not
don't
this
know
week,
that.
but before the deadline, I
Yeah.
think they got to call. I mean, there was a corner trade yesterday that I would
Yeah.
have loved to be in on.
Two
Greg
teams
Newsom goes to
swapped. They
Jacksonville.
swapped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tyson Campbell goes to Cleveland. I would have loved to take a shot on one of those guys.
Explain that trade, though.
I think it's scheme fit because Newsom's more of a zone coverage corner, which Jacksonville uses. Cleveland likes to play more man, which Tyson
Okay.
Campbell's better at. So it was, I think, more of a scheme thing. But
Okay.
they got to do
You
something like
rarely
that.
see a move like that, though.
No, it was weird.
Yeah, it was
similar
weird.
tiered players too. I don't know what it is, but they have to trade for a corner. That's the one clear flaw outside of injuries with the defense that I just don't think Ringo or Adoree Jackson are playable. Like when this team inevitably does make the playoffs, and I think they still will, you can't have those guys in big moments being on the football field. Like the Giants don't have good wide receivers. And what's his name? Lil Jordan Humphrey is
Lil
destroying.
Jordan. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
I mean
Lil
he's
Wayne.
big actually, but
Yeah.
he
Or Lil John.
I mean, he's mossing Keely Ringo all game, and Adoree Jackson's getting destroyed by a 4th or 5th string receiver. It's just they are unplayable.
He's like 6'4", that dude. He's a big dude.
Yep. It's-
Anybody with the name Lil
Yeah.
and he beats you up, that's a problem.
Yeah, well, he's 6'4". He went to Texas. He's not a stiff.
Is that like the guy they call Tiny that weighs 320?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
much,
what he
yeah.
is.
Pretty
Okay.
much. Pretty much.
But how are they going to respond if Quinyon Mitchell like a hamstring lingers?
Yeah.
It really does.
Soft tissue.
Yeah,
Big
those
problem.
linger.
This is the reality of the NFL. I mean, you don't get as lucky as the Eagles did last year with injuries every single season, even though they're younger, and that's been part of why they've been so healthy since 2022, even going back to 2021. Like, this kind of stuff does happen, and you have to be able to overcome it. So you would hope the Eagles offense could carry this football team while they deal with injuries. The defense just needed you one time this year to bail them out when they were bleeding in the second half. And the offense, which again is where the prime star veterans are, couldn't do it against such a bad football team. It's infuriating. But what Jason was talking about with them answering, they've gone through this many times. Like, they've gone through it in 2023 and in 2024. This is like gut check time. You've dropped two games. You got smoked in front of the world against a bad football team. Are you going to what the recipe is to have a collapse? You know what the recipe is to get out of this kind of hole. Yeah. And we'll really see against Minnesota if they have more fight, because they came out flat from the start of this football game.
It looked like, I was saying before you came on, Louie, this looked like a preseason game.
Yeah, it looked like they didn't care. I mean, really, you talked about how much Scadaboo and Dart were like putting their bodies on the line to pick up first downs. Like, the Eagles had none of that. They were tackling like garbage. The offense came out completely asleep. Yeah, I mean,
practice.
Yeah, and on a short week after that kind of loss and all the drama of the last few weeks, you'd think this team would be ready, and that's on Nick Sirianni. I think that's an indictment of coaching for sure.
I agree, and they had 4 straight tush pushes tonight. That I don't think I've ever seen before.
Yeah, that I think is the nail in the coffin that play's totally getting banned next year.
4 straight, so, and scoring a touchdown.
Yeah. So enjoy it while you have it this year, because it's gone next year. That was on national TV.
Yeah.
Roger Goodell's like, we're done. I'm not even. This is done.
I'm not taking a vote. I'm taking a dictatorship.
Yeah,
he's going to use executive order powers if he has that. I don't know.
Whenever I coached the team, I always said the first thing I would always tell the team is, this is not a democracy.
Right.
So get that out of your head right now. There's no voting. There's no democracy. It's what I say and what goes. And I would say the same thing to the parents. And I think that's what Roger Goodell is going to do. Now, let me ask you this. Will Vic Fangio's defense respond, even if Quinyon Mitchell can't go?
Next week?
Yeah. So say Jalen Carter can go.
No.
You don't think they can respond against that team?
No.
Why? They just don't have the horses?
Quinyon Mitchell
they're in trouble against Minnesota.
He's paramount to what they do defensively.
Because of Justin Jefferson.
In the second.
Jordan Addison's a good player.
Addison, too. Yeah.
TJ Hawkinson. That's a loaded. And Kevin O'Connell's one of the best play callers in the NFL. Yep. I mean, he's got Carson Wentz looking like 20, maybe not 2017 Wentz, but like 2019
and
Wentz.
If Wentz doesn't turn the ball over, they're in trouble.
Or if it's McCarthy, I mean.
Harry, you're the expert on Vegas. What is the early line on this game? So get that out.
I got to check that out.
I mean, Minnesota's got to be favored by, I would say, 4.5.
No. The Eagles have been favored on the road. They were favored on the road at Tampa Bay by 3.5. A good Tampa Bay team.
Is it 2.5 maybe? I don't know what that line is going to be.
They just got their rear ends kicked in by the New York Football Giants. Yeah, I think everything's out the window when it comes to
the underdogs that have been winning. I'm looking here. I don't see any line yet.
So they haven't put one out yet.
No.
There's a lot of question marks too, obviously, with Quinyon.
Yeah,
with some other players, so they may wait a little bit. How much do we think this Barkley thing is in it? He's got 325 yards this year.
Yeah,
and obviously the offensive line this year is not what it was last year. You have the injuries. There's a litany of reasons. The usage of last year. How much of this is recapturable? Not to the degree it was last year for Saquon, because that's a once in a lifetime, I think.
Yeah.
But how much of it is recapturable this season for Saquon Barkley?
Well, I mean, after the bye week, I think you get Dickerson back. You get Jurgens is not right either. I mean, you got to
one good play tonight, but
yeah, but he's not the same. He's not the same. I think you got to wait till after the bye week. It's going to be like a second half resurgence for Saquon, if any.
It's got to be. I mean, I just watched another highlight of Jalen Hurts' pick in the fourth quarter. He had A.J. Brown one-on-one. Yeah, on the right side. Yeah, one-on-one, zero coverage,
But
no safety.
He only looked at Dotson, right?
Stared him down,
Yep.
corner read it,
Yep.
threw the ball inside. You got to throw that outside the numbers on that kind of route. He missed it. That's why the run game, again, with Jalen, I'm not suddenly turning on Jalen Hurts and saying he's not the franchise quarterback. They need to look elsewhere. But
Tanner McKee, bring him in.
yeah, and we already got a couple of those in the comments. But,
Oh, my. Really?
Natural in Philadelphia. The backup is always the best friend of the city.
Yeah.
But Jalen Hurts, we have to accept who he is. Like, he is not a guy outside of 2022. He cannot carry you as a pocket passer. You have to have a strong run game. You have to have a play caller that can help elevate him. He's a top 10 quarterback with top 5 moments throwing the football. And again, normally his high highs throwing the ball are in the most important moments, but you'll have games like this. And so the run game, that's why it's so crucial to get it back on track, because even against the New York Giants, like, he couldn't carry you. That if he hits that throw to Devontae Smith, I think they win this football game. If they don't throw that interception and they're only down 3, like, the defense was getting off the field in the third quarter. They were giving the offense a fighting chance. So, I think that's just, if everybody just could kind of accept who Jalen Hurts is, I think we'd have less back and forth conjecture. But, the wins and the Super Bowls kind of, I think, put him a little bit higher than maybe he should be.
And also, though, back then, Louis, he was running the ball more.
That's a good point.
I
I don't know if he's hurt, but like, there's that read option in the first quarter. He's trying to get to the edge, and he's never been a super explosive player laterally, but he's better north-south. But it didn't look that explosive, so I don't know.
But that was a big part of his game.
Yeah.
That escapability.
They're not using him with like manufactured runs. And Lane Johnson said that was part of it. Like, they're predictable because they're not using RPOs anymore. And that's a Jalen Hurts offense. Like, even if it is predictable, you got to do that for him to be effective.
I agree.
Does that go back to Kevin Petula?
Yes.
Of course. Yep.
Yes.
It's on. Yeah. Like, Hurts hasn't played well in a vacuum,
Petula.
but Petula is not maximizing Hurts' strengths at all.
No, he's not. It's a major problem. I'm going to play a contrarian role here for a second.
It's very, contrarian of you to do that.
Well, it's just a question.
Yeah.
Can this adversity in this first half benefit them as a returning Super Bowl champion? I believe that sometimes. I think sometimes a team needs to be grounded.
Agreed, but how many seasons does this team need to get grounded? Why does this have to happen every single year?
They're just coming off a Super Bowl, and they just beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and they beat them this year, and they started off great.
I just don't feel like, they've learned this lesson. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I think it could be beneficial, but this team has had so many wake-up calls over the years that it's frustrating to me. They need to keep doing this to bounce back. Like, you would think with all this talent and all this experience already that they don't have to go through this every single year. And especially on the offensive side of the ball, where the veterans are that have gone through this. Right. It's not the young defense. So, yeah, I guess you're probably right, but I also just don't trust that they have the guys in-house right now to turn this around with their play caller. And they're not going to fire Petullo. So, if the run game gets back on track, then yes. But if that stays inconsistent, then I don't know if this is the start they needed to turn things around.
And like, why is it like this? Because your head coach doesn't call plays, so he's sort of the CEO guy.
That's the root cause of it all. Yeah.
And underneath his CEO-ness, things go awry. Like he's had great success, but he's also made some really poor decisions from promoting from within that could have really
derailed,
imploded him.
Yeah.
And this is now number 2.
He's dodged a bullet before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he may be dodging another one now. That's the thing.
And my question I talked about on the show on Thursday, like, if this continues and Petullo is not the guy, he seemed very willing to let Howie clearly influence him and bringing in Fangio as the DC, bringing in Kellen Moore.
Right.
Now that he has a Super Bowl and added leverage, added power in who he wants on his staff.
Contract.
Kind of like Doug. Doug initially was okay with the power structure until he wasn't.
Yep.
If Howie and Lurie go to him this year and say, Petullo's got to go at the end of the season, and we want you to bring in somebody like Mike McDaniels or somebody from a different team, a different scheme, will he be okay with that? Because Petullo is kind of his Press Taylor.
Right.
He has been with him since the start, since 2021. And I fear that if this doesn't get better, like, we could have another conflict on our hands that we've had, it feels like all the time in Philadelphia. So
why would you die on that hill if you're him? You know,
he's a loyal guy. Again, just like Doug, like it's part of his strength as a coach, but it's also part of his weakness in this area specifically.
Jason would understand if I was the head coach or if he was the head coach and I had to go or he had to go. He'd understand. I'd understand.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I would. If I was the problem.
They're both like, we'd fire the other one in a heartbeat.
Exactly.
No, but I would. I would say, hey, this isn't working with me doing this. And if it's better for the team for me to not be here, then fire me.
Jason's a hockey guy. They fire coaches all the time.
Can they just like demote him, like go back to like the assistant head coach role and bring in a new play caller?
You can't do that.
Yeah, probably not.
It's too uncomfortable.
That's true.
And you can't go back and work in a different capacity unless you're the pseudo advisor, which means basically you're getting paid to do nothing.
Harry's right though. I mean, all of this can be brought back to like the head coach and quarterback. They have elite strengths that clearly works. They've been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years together. Before this game, they won 20 of their last 21, 2022 games. But at the same time, there are clear weaknesses to Sirianni and Hurts that do make it harder to be consistent year after year when all things around them aren't going right. Like the fact that Sirianni can't call plays, the fact that Hurts is an inconsistent pocket passer, it does make it tough at times because they can't, when more is on their plate, like in 2023 and 2025, you will get more ups and downs. So unfortunately, that's also just the reality of the way this organization is built, especially at the top.
And the offensive line isn't what it was.
Exactly.
Which is really, to me, where this whole organization was founded.
It's always been built that way. Yeah.
Right. Well, since Andy Reid decided.
Yeah.
We thought it was boring every year. Another offensive lineman. Until we realized, man, football games are won with offensive linemen. You know what I mean?
That's where it is.
And the thing about it is this, too, is when you look at this Eagles team and you see what they've done and you see this loyalty and you see it repeat itself, it's frustrating because it doesn't seem like a complicated fix, but it's this loyalty makes it incredibly complicated all of a sudden.
Yeah, it does.
And this A.J. Brown situation has become very complicated.
Yeah. Is that a real situation?
Harry?
I mean, he had 80 yards today on 6 catches, so I don't... Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
But, yeah.
At this point, the stats don't... He could get 160 yards every game the rest of the season with 2 or 3 touchdowns. It wouldn't matter.
It's almost like I think like we who cover this stuff and talk about this stuff are trying to make this into a TO situation.
What did he do it when he put out that tweet? Did we put out the tweet?
We misinterpreted the tweet.
I don't think it's that far, but he has a right to be upset with Jalen. Like, listen to just a couple of these numbers I just saw. Jalen Hurts targeting receivers over 10 yards downfield. He's 10 of 28, 35.7 completion rate. That's 30th in the league. Jalen Hurts is 6 for 28 this year on third downs in his last 3 games, 21.4%. Like, Jalen normally is great in the second half of games. He has been terrible in the second half and on money downs this year. So, I mean, AJ has a right to be frustrated.
All right. Louie's going to tell you about game time. And then I'm going to tell you about something that frustrated me at the end of the game when the clock hit 0. Back after this.
Locked On Eagles is brought to you by Game Time, the NFL season.
Uh-oh. Louie froze. So let me tell you about Game Time.
Oh my!
Because he just froze all of a sudden.
God, he's frozen.
He's frozen.
Now, I know he lives up in like New York State. It might be colder up there. He might be frozen.
Well, the NFL season is back, and honestly, there's nothing better than being in the stadium surrounded by fans cheering on your team, especially when it's not at MetLife. But let's be honest, getting tickets can be a hassle. Sometimes it's just tough to get a ticket. Between queues, login screens, prices jumping, and checkout, it can all be very frustrating. That's why I use GameTime. If I want to get to a game, a concert, or whatever, you use GameTime. The app gives you the advantage it gives the advantage right back to the fans. It's fast, it's easy, it's backed by the GameTime guarantee, and you always get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best price. Plus, all fees are included. So the price you see, that's the price you pay. Say you want to go see Metallica. You see that price? That's the price you pay. You want to go see the Eagles? That's the price you pay. I pulled up the GameTime app, and in just a couple of taps, boom, amazing deals. Make your decision. I'm talking about your favorite NFL games as low as $100. You can do this right up to GameTime. The app, again, it makes it super simple. I could even see the exact view from my seat before buying it. That's a really cool feature. You got the zone deals too. Pick the section, GameTime picks the seats, and you save big. Honestly, it's faster, cheaper, and less stressful than any other way to buy tickets. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDONNFL, LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download GameTime today. All right. So, just Harry, we'll wait until Louie gets back.
Yeah.
We'll continue the conversation regarding A.J. Brown and regarding what bothered me at the end of the game.
All right. Let's hear it.
It seemed at the end of the game, there was almost this kind of smirk on Jalen Hurts' face. Like he didn't. We know Jalen Hurts had the cell phone confetti picture to use as motivation, and how serious of an athlete he is.
Yeah.
At the end of that game today, he seemed okay. He seemed out of character in a way to me.
What are you basing this on? A smirk?
No, he just seemed
Like
a little
glance
too
of the
jovial.
With who? Who was he jovial?
Other giant players, and I get like you played with
it
those.
Always happens. That always happens at the end of the games. These guys, it's a different age of players where they get together, they trade jerseys and all this kind of stuff, and it bothers fans, and I get it. But I didn't see what you saw. So, but there's no way to me that Jalen Hurts is okay with what happened today.
Okay.
No way.
All right.
No way.
I saw it and I just kind of went,
this guy is calling Peyton Manning. He's calling Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan to find out, what it's like to back things up after you won something. There's no way he's okay with that.
Okay.
No.
Right. I'm just making sure because a championship will change a lot of people. I don't think it'll change him.
I don't think so.
I really don't.
That's one of the intangibles that he brought to the table that, to me, I figured out really early on. Like, he's got that mindset.
He's got it.
Yeah.
Whatever
the mindset.
Is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's never going to throw the ball like Dan Marino.
No,
he's got that mindset.
Yeah, but Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl.
Exactly right.
But he had isotoner gloves.
Yeah,
he always had warm hands. I always thought it was strange that Dan Marino did an ad for isotoner gloves and he played in Miami. I always thought that was odd.
Well,
I know he's
Pittsburgh
from
too.
Yeah, I know he's from Pittsburgh, but the isotoner gloves as a pro, being in an area where you never need to wear gloves, was shocking to me.
Yeah,
Louis, what I was saying, it just after the game, I felt like Jalen was a little aloof.
Yeah, it seemed like it, and I was just watching a second of his press conference. He just doesn't look like a confident quarterback right now, and I think the numbers back that up. I think a lot of that is the scheme. It's certainly not helping, but he's not seeing the field well, and I think he's trying to figure out what kind of quarterback to be, because last year he was so conservative and safe, and this year he's trying to figure out, like, obviously the offense needs more of him because the run game is not going, but I mean, I really thought after the NFC title and the Super Bowl, like we turned a new page with Jalen. He was going to become a consistent pocket passer, and he didn't take that step. So I think he kind of at this point just is who he is. But even for Jalen's inconsistencies, like these past few games have been really bad for him in the second half.
Agreed. Is this another situation? Because there was a point in Donovan McNabb's career where it was obvious that he did not want to be that guy that was like going to run the football. Okay, he was going to be a pocket passer. He was going to succeed within the pocket. It was all going to be on his arm. It wasn't going to be like, oh, I'm going to take it down and run it. Are we seeing that again?
If that happens, the Eagles need a new quarterback because Jalen Hurts is never going to be good enough. And again, he will have some elite moments as a deep ball passer. Yeah. Inside the pocket, he will have great moments like the Super Bowl, but he will never be, again, after 6 years, you are who you are as a player, right? So he has to be a runner to age well in this offense with this team if he wants to be the long-term guy. Yeah, because he's never going to be, or else he's going to be like a Russell Wilson or Cam Newton that flames out at like 33, 34, because he'll never be a consistent enough pocket passer to be the guy if he's not running the football. So he better be willing to do that because that's what makes this offense great.
How bad was that throw that what Russell Wilson made tonight?
It was egregious. He got booed off the field after one snap.
And he should have.
Yeah,
it's sad. He keeps his helmet on all game, like he thinks he's going in, and he's been doing it for weeks. It's sad.
It is. Sad.
Let's get to some comments because we got a ton. Jeremy Van Sciver tweets in and messages in and says, "We got our asses kicked on both sides of the ball in the trenches. It was like we weren't interested." I totally agree with him.
Yep.
He said the Giants clearly wanted it more. Our run defense right now is pretty alarming as well as QB2.
They need Jalen Carter healthy, that's for sure. I mean, he just hasn't been the same this year.
Nope.
Now let's get into some of the ridiculousness, hot takes, and sports radio-ish type things. This has to be the most embarrassing and miserable, pathetic loss I've ever seen. This dysfunctional, poorly coached team lose ever. They are not a dysfunctional organization or a poorly coached organization. They got their butts kicked tonight.
Well, they were poorly coached tonight.
For sure.
Yeah, they were not ready to play either.
But I'm not going to make any grand conclusions about this team. Like, I learned from last year, like, to not do that, as frustrating as tonight was. But, I'm not going to put that label on them.
But then again, the same guy goes, it's time to see what Tanner McKee can do.
There we go.
Like, dude, Tony, take a Xanax, whatever you need to take, because that's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Wow.
This guy, what's his name? J.K. Duba, worst out of Bond yet. Now, I heard you talking about this. There was a lot of defensive guys missing. Bond was the only really regular that was in there. So
he did struggle, though.
Blame him.
Yeah, Campbell, Bond, they not making plays.
It's easy to struggle when Jalen Carter's not in there.
Yeah, they did try to spy Jackson Dart a little bit with those two, but in the open field, they couldn't hang with Dart, especially that first drive. Like, Bond got put on skates on that rushing touchdown. But, it's hard to blame him for sure. Then
Jonathan Thompson goes, the Giants are the worst team. And then his next comment, the Giants look like a Super Bowl team.
Jackson Dart, I mean, they don't have a good roster, but Jackson Dart looks really good.
I'll tell you what.
He looks like the real deal.
I don't know what Coach Dayball did to him post-game tonight because they were French kissing 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, the love
affair. Now they beat the
crazy.
Eagles. I don't know what's happening there.
I mean, they're touching foreheads like every time there's a good play.
There could be a violation of state laws at some point in New Jersey.
Another good question from Jeremy. Your O-line is not healthy. Dickerson not there in there is killer.
Yeah,
and it's absolutely right. I think some guys you might need to shut down until after the bye week. That might be the best way to do it, and that may be the way to move forward.
Yeah.
I have on the rundown, has anything really changed other than the record? Some things have changed, but they can also change back. The NFL is a long season. Is it Baldy that always used to say, Harry, one of the 86 partners that you worked with.
Yeah.
Like, the NFL doesn't really begin until the Christmas decorations come out.
In November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's when things get really serious.
Yep.
So we're reacting now in the moment, but there's a long way. There's
No, there
11
is.
games to go.
There is, but there's a lot of you're starting to see things that make you feel really uneasy that this could go the wrong way.
Yeah.
That's the problem, and the injury issue, adding to that is a big thing. There was a situation there, 3rd and 7. The Eagles had the ball at their own 46, and Toth was just totally overwhelmed by Burns. Yeah. He just bullied him, and you're just starting to see things where man, Dickers, he needs to get back after the bye week healthy because they are not the same team.
If not, give one of the young guys a chance, maybe Drew Kendall, who was activated today on the 53, let him play left guard.
Yeah.
Brett Toth is not the answer.
Jeremy.
Yeah,
agrees as well. And then a couple more. Sirianni's leash has got to be non-existent. The guy has gone to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years.
No,
he won a Super Bowl over a dynasty.
He's not getting fired.
No,
although him not admitting there's a problem on the offense, he's not admitting it's predictable is driving me insane.
He's not getting fired this week. We don't know what happens.
We did see a head coach get fired after winning a Super Bowl only a few years later.
We did.
So
in this town,
I'm going to bring up one thing, and then I'll get to our last topic about confidence moving forward. I am angry with Harry.
Me?
Harry, yes.
Why?
Because he went in today and worked with John Marks for the first time in 7 years on the day of the game.
Yeah, I did 4 hours of radio today. I'm exhausted.
So I'm going in tomorrow.
Right.
I have to help explain this crap tomorrow. Harry goes in. We got a big night. We got the Phils. We got the Eagles playing the Giants.
We got Flyers hockey action.
We got Flyers hockey action, yo. All that, right?
Right.
I got to go in tomorrow and be the Philly season is over.
Right.
The Eagles got their rear ends kicked in.
What does that mean?
The phone lines are going to be a spectacle. I cannot wait for that.
I mean, look, Harry and I did a show for a long time. Tomorrow is the biggest mail-in day you'll ever get.
Yeah, you got a good one.
Yeah, but it's all negative. It's all negative.
Yeah.
I mean, did something happen with the Sixers today? Anything?
I don't think so.
Did Embiid stub his toe and going to be out for the next?
Not yet.
Load manage for the next 9 weeks.
It's coming. It's coming. Not yet.
Right.
I mean, Jesus. All right. Last thing. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, we're 6 games into the season. It's 4-2. They're 4-2. What is your confidence level moving forward, Louie?
Out of 10, I would say
on the season as a whole, just the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still confident they're going to turn this thing around. I just think they're too talented not to. Do I think there's going to be ups and downs all year? Will they go nuclear like last year? Maybe not, but I don't think they're going to completely fall flat like 2023 where they lose.
Are they a Super Bowl contender?
Yeah, I still think at the end of the year, and if they're in the playoffs, they win the division, they will be a contender. Will they be as good as last year at any point this year? Probably not. I think it's somewhere in the middle of 2023 and 2024. I just can't see this team losing 5 of 6 and being the 5 or 6 seed. I don't think that's going to happen. But
no, I still think they win the division. But my under 11.5 is still looking prime.
No. The schedule's not getting easier, by the way.
Take that back. You changed that last week.
No, I didn't.
I
didn't.
You asked me.
You asked me if I changed it. I did not.
All right. We're going to go back and check the tape.
By the way, this was supposed to be the easy part of their schedule, and they've dropped 2 of the games.
I know. They go through the
so
hard
that under
part.
might be good because they got Green Bay still, Detroit, Buffalo, Washington twice. I mean,
but they're good
it's not going to get
those
easier.
Teams. They're good against those. They stink against these stinky teams.
Until they're not 2023. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. My confidence moving forward is they'll get it straightened out. It may be a couple more weeks.
Yeah.
It may be after the bye. But they are still a Super Bowl contender. Let's not get crazy. We're angry now. We're emotional now. But all said and done, they still got a lot of talent. and I think they still got a really good coach. They got a really crappy offensive coordinator.
It's bad.
They really do. So, all right, that's Locked On Eagles Squad show. We'll have the midweek show. Louie's got you covered every single day. He's got Louie. You got a layup week of layup weeks. You have so much to talk about.
Content. I'm not going to be struggling on what to talk about this week. So.
You almost wish this was the bye week because you have plenty to go for a bye week.
I almost wish this was on a Thursday. I have my Friday show already recorded. I need days to do. I might do a Saturday bonus show. Who knows?
Well, a Saturday bonus shows. There you go. So check out Louie every single day. Locked On Eagles. Harry, I, and Mark Farzetta will be back for the midweek Eagles Squad show. I always go to Harry at the end of the show. Harry, they have Minnesota next week. What time is the game?
I'm not sure. I think it might be.
Is it? I think it's a 4:30.
That should be a second window game.
No, it's a 1:00-er.
Oh no! Are you serious?
It's a 1:00.
Another one?
The next two are at 1 p.m.
Wow.
That's Boffo.
That is.
All right. Well, that's awesome.
Yep.
That's good news.
Beautiful.
All right. Everybody, have a great couple of days. Cope. Take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. Thanks for watching the Eagles Squad show. For Louie DiBiase, Harry Mays, I'm Jason Myrtetus. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.